Hello everybody, hope you're all well and thanks very much for all the support with my videos. I'm very grateful. Today I'm at Dublin Castle and behind me in the corner is the medieval tower that was built in the early 1200s during the reign of King Henry III. You have a chapel beside it, the main entrance for Dublin Castle, which was the location of British rule in Ireland for centuries until became the possession of the Irish Free State in 1922. And there was the Inspector of Petty Sessions was the famous Bram Stoker, famous author of Dracula. Worked right here during the late 19th century. Today I want to speak about Micheal Martin. Micheal Martin has been holding on to his reign of power for many years in Fianna Fáil and doesn't seem like he wants to let go, because over the last number of months we've seen the changes in the Irish political government leaders, with Leo Varadkar resigning, replaced by Simon Harris, as many of the leading lights in the party of Fine Gael decided to jump ship at the next election, and Simple Simon was left holding the baby. And now we've been in a situation where the Green Party are looking for a new leader. Eamon Ryan, much loved by everybody in Dublin and Ireland, in jest, has been his own leadership issues, stepping away from politics, and is being replaced in a battle for Minister for Disintegration, Roderick O'Gorman and Pippa Hackett. Tweedledum or Tweedledee, let's see who will pick to lead up the Green Party. But Micheal Martin himself has had his own issues. He's been the TD since the late 80s for Cork South Central, became a spokesperson in education in the mid-90s, and then became Minister for Education in the late 90s, then became Minister for Health. The less said the better about the disastrous policies he implemented as Minister for Health, and also had many other roles, was Minister for Foreign Affairs, and then became the leader of Fianna Fáil in 2011 when Brian Cowan stepped away after winning a motion of no confidence. Cowan stepped away a few days later, and since then we've had Micheal Martin leading the ship of Fianna Fáil, part of the government that drove us over a cliff, fully signed up member of Bertie Ahern's gang, fully signed up member of Brian Cowan's gang, and the Troika's gang also as well. Martin's come out the other side, has supported the Fine Gael government in 2016 with a confidence and supply agreement, pretended to be in opposition but supported him every step of the way, and then he jumped into bed with him in 2020 to grab the reins of power and become Taoiseach. So despite him saying that he wouldn't go into government with him, but again, that's Micheal Martin and Fianna Fáil all over, isn't it? Complete hypocrites. But over the last number of weeks, there's been a couple of dramatic shifts in Fianna Fáil where he has tightened his grip on power even more because of a couple of changes that's been made. First of all, we've had the appointment of Michael McGrath, a European yes man, Minister for Finance, who is going off to Brussels to work as a European Commissioner, a complete yes man for the European elites and the global elites, and for the super rich and the wealthy and the big corporations. And he was replaced by Jack Chambers. Jack Chambers, 33-year-old Minister for Finance, deputy leader of the party as well. And it's interesting why Martin appointed him as deputy leader, to tighten his grip on power and to swat off any oncomer challenges, such as McGrath perhaps could have been a possible leader in waiting. Obviously there was people like Barry Cowan as well, who was shifted off to Europe on the gravy train rather than standing up in Ireland and maybe contesting the leadership battle of Fianna Fáil. But Micheal, Il Duce Micheal, decided the best thing to do was appoint a wet behind the ears Minister for Finance who he could control and call the shots on for over the next number of years. Now it's also very interesting because it has quieted a lot of dissent within the Fianna Fáil party. Not that there's much dissent in the Fianna Fáil party, to put it mildly. We've seen them talk out both sides of their mouth quite regularly. Yet people like Darragh Cleary has been appointed as well. He himself supported Martin back in 2011 as a leadership candidate for Fianna Fáil, and he's been appointed now into a role as a super junior minister. And also James Lawless, who went against Micheal Martin a number of years ago. I made a couple of claims he was going against Micheal Martin, but now he's been appointed as a junior minister for communications. So Martin has steadied the ship of Fianna Fáil, and he's riding high in the polls of 20% at the moment, holding on to his base with the leadership of his party. But again, Micheal Martin's policies have been completely neoliberal policies. He has been fully signed up member of the 1% club and the big corporations, and has had sovereignty as a backward looking idea. We've seen the housing and homeless crisis, rents through the roof, house prices through the roof, affordable housing off the charts, evictions through the roof. We've seen hospital waiting lists explode. Over in the first 3 months of this year, there was 50,000 operations and procedures cancelled in hospitals, and a third of patients that present in hospitals in acute conditions are malnourished. So that tells you what Ireland's really like, despite what they tell you with the GDP figures and the nonsense they try and claim with the leprechaun economics. But also his act as Minister for Foreign Affairs has tightened the rein of power, because he's tried to erode our neutrality. He had a consultative forum, a sham forum last year, held here actually in Dublin Castle, that was trying to ready us up to move towards NATO. He's met with the Atlantic Council, he spoke with them, warmongers, over the last number of months. He's had many meetings in Europe. He's been to meet Zelensky. He's also been eroding, as I said, our neutrality as Minister for Defence, stroke Foreign Affairs, stroke Taoiseach. And he's been eroding the triple lock, which means that they could be sending up to 12 members of the Defence Forces, which doesn't need a UN mandate anymore. He wants to just push it through the Irish political establishment and the government to rush this through to force them off to war. And he's been involved in so-called non-lethal aid to Ukraine, which when non-lethal aid, all aid to warmongers is lethal aid, full stop, despite what people say and this demoining nonsense that they try and say as well. And obviously the Chief of Staff of the Defence Forces is heading up the European battle groups next year also, as well, as we move into that position. But again, it's nothing new with Micheal Martin. He also went on a propaganda tour to Israel at the behest of the Israeli ambassador. But Micheal Martin doesn't show any sign of deposing his position or leaving his position. But it shows you what Ireland he claims to serve. An Ireland where he said sovereignty is a backward looking idea. I would go to the contrary. Sovereignty is a forward looking idea where people are in charge of the policies. He wants to centralise power himself, to himself, as a de facto Il Duce stroke dictator in Ireland, and hold on the reins of power as long as possible. You can see that with the appointments around him, without any dissent within his party. You can also see the way the whole political party system works in Ireland as well. It's corrupt to the core. Self-serving careerists that only look after themselves, and only about self-preservation for them as well, to maintain their positions of power rather than serving the needs of the people here in Ireland. As I said, many are struggling and suffering because of his policies that many governments he was involved with were responsible for. The bank bailout, austerity, devastation, NAMA, vulture funds. He helped drive us off the cliff, and now he's still trying to finish us off into the bottom of the sea with his policies as he drags us towards more militarism and the disastrous neoliberal policies that has divided so many people in society and created huge inequalities. We need to build an Ireland for the people, by the people, where the needs of people are met, the right to a home and a dignified existence, health service, education, and redistribute the wealth from the top of society. So many of the big corporations are calling the shots on policies and benefiting and profiting from so much of our public money at the cost of ordinary people. So much the same as the colonisers we had here for 800 years, we have similar colonisers now, and it's the European Union with their imperial project, rather than standing up for the independence of Ireland. That's what we need to stand up for now more than ever. A democratic Ireland, an Ireland that's independent, and an Ireland that's sovereign. where the needs of people are met and put first. So thanks for the support with all the videos, really appreciate it. And if you like my videos, please press subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thanks to everybody who supports me through Buy Me a Coffee and other platforms as well. So from Dublin today, Dublin Castle, take care. See you all soon. Slán.